There's no testimony without a test. I'm here cause he said I could be. He has wrapped his arms around me. My life is a testament. I must tell someone about it. My life is a testament. I can't keep quiet just like Jesus. I was risen from the dead, I'm his child, just as he said. His love is greater than life's expectations. The shield of his grace is my protection. I got a testimony, yes I do. For his favor has kept me through. He can do the same for you. Try him and watch what he do. I testify he is more than enough. You will make it through even when it's rough. Give him all the thanks and praise. Be blessed for the rest of your days. There's no testimony without a test. He has wrapped his arms around me. My life is a testament. I must tell someone about it. My life is a testament. I can't keep quiet just like Jesus. I was risen from the dead, I'm his child, just as he said. His love is greater than life's expectations. The shield of his grace is my protection. I thank you, Lord, I thank you.
Hello, welcome to Opinionated News. I'm Miss Open, and you're tuned in to the Open Users Redemption segment. Open Users Redemption. I appreciate you all for tuning in tonight. Come in, we're always open. We're here Sunday through Friday, anywhere between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. And tonight, the discussion is family isn't family anymore. I ran across a story here in Detroit, Michigan. I believe this incident happened on Saturday. An elderly person in the family passed away. Family members got together to discuss the arrangements of the family and how everything was going to go. And somehow a fight broke out and 5 people ended up injured. So I'm going to actually show the clip of what happened to the family and what really happened. It's a news clip from Fox 2 Detroit. So I'm going to go ahead and play that clip real quick and we'll get into it. I don't have anyone here at the moment, but it's okay. We're still going to talk about it. So let me play the clip.
And we begin with breaking news out of the west side of Detroit, where 5 family members have been sent to the hospital, all of them with gunshot wounds. Detroit police say there was a fight between family members and then things escalated into a full-on shootout. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hillary Goulston.
And I'm Dave Spencer. We are learning more now about the conditions of those multiple victims. Fox 2's Camille Amiri joins us live from the scene. Camille, so much to unpack here. Where to start?
Yeah, 2 people, though, are critical condition and 3 in temp serious. But let's talk about what happened. Let's rewind the clock back to yesterday. And that's what led up to all this. Is a family member died after a long-term illness. She was an elderly woman. And then today, all the family members were together trying to discuss logistics after a passing, what to do as far as funeral arrangements go, where to have the body taken, when all of a sudden chaos broke out. A physical altercation and then a shooting. We know right now, as I said at the top, that 2 brothers in their 50s in critical condition, and then 3 women who are also family members. One of them, the wife of one of the brothers, and then also a niece who was in her 20s, also in the hospital. Now, the Assistant Chief Fitzgerald talks about this way better than I can, so I want you to listen to what he has to say in his own words.
Sounds like it started with the 2 brothers in a physical altercation. Gun falls out of the one brother's waistband. Another brother picks it up, fires a shot. Others return fire to defend that person. And even when the original officers, the responding officers arrived at scene, they were still fighting on the front lawn. One of the family members had a broom, hit another family member with the broom.
Okay, so right now we know that there was also a person who was inside the house. This all happened outside, but who was inside the house, who is suffering from a stroke, who is recovering from that. Police worried that he could have maybe been hit in this, but he's okay. And then also a bullet hit another house. Luckily, no one was hit. Right now, it's kind of a hectic situation because someone walked up. He actually walked up to us first and then to police because he's trying to get to his house back there. He's screaming at police. Police are trying to get him to calm down. He doesn't appear to be related to all of this, but still kind of adding to the stress and the chaos of this scene. But for now, that's what's going on. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this and bring you the latest information as soon as we get it. Reporting live, Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Camille, whenever you're dealing with these domestic situations, we know emotions can run high. Do we know if the family members who were not injured are cooperating with the investigation at this point?
Well, again, interesting. And also, too, I didn't even tell you where this was. This is in Detroit, Sussex and Linden. Again, I apologize for kind of the chaos. You can probably hear the screaming behind me. But we do know that one of the people arrested, a woman, is also believed to be a family member. But who shot who? One of the people who shot is in the hospital. But police still trying to sort it all out. Just a very chaotic, messy scene. And again, this with this neighbor arguing with police is not helping matters at all.
Yeah,
David, Hillary, back to you.
We know this happened a few hours ago, and it's still an ongoing investigation. So we'll check back with you later on. Thank you for that live report.
Thank you, Vibes. Thank you for being here tonight. And I see I got somebody else in the bushes. Thank you. What I'm talking about, the title tonight is Family Isn't Family Anymore. And what struck this on was, of course, the news clip that I just shared. Elderly lady passed away. The family got together to decide about the family arrangements, and all hell broke loose. 5 people ended up injured. A couple of people ended up in prison or in jail for the moment. And so they just sort of resonated with me a little bit. Not nothing violent happened with my family, but when my grandma passed away in 2001, it struck a lot of chaos amongst our family. And I believe like my family has not been the same since. In June, we're actually going to have our first family get together outside of a funeral since then. But that story just resonated with me. Like, it's crazy that a family can get together to mourn together, to try to come up with a plan on what they're going to do with their loved one that's no longer here, and violence occur. Somebody ends up, like the news clip said, somebody started hitting somebody with a broom. Next thing you know, pow pow comes out and people are getting sprayed. It's just sad. It's ridiculous that in this day and time, when we're supposed to be loving on one another, when everybody else is against you in the world, that your own family can't even come together, stick together to come up with a plan to bury their loved one. And so that's what we're here for tonight. I'm not going to be here long. Y'all know I never know where my discussion is going to go. I just get out here and start talking, and some things happen. Sometimes things don't happen. But I am going to drop my link just in case someone does want to come up and voice anything that they would like to say about how family isn't family anymore. Let me get that in the chat for you. Welcome. I see I got a couple of people coming in and out. And if you are coming in and out, if you do not mind, to please just hit the like button. Try to get Miss Open in the algorithm. I've been stuck at the same place for 2 weeks now. The first 2 weeks I came back, I was doing good. Thank you, Vibes. I know you're here. I see. I figured you were here. You're the only person I can definitely say I can count on. If nobody else don't show up, I appreciate Vibes Queen. She is her own content creator. She can be doing other things, but she always shows up for me. So Vibes Queen, I thank you. But at the end of the day, like I said, I don't know where my discussion gonna go. I just knew that I need to just talk about it. I'm always going to come out here every day, find something relatable, and I'm going to talk about it. So like I said, the family broke out in chaos. I'm not sure who was out here in the beginning to see the clip. It's only a 3-minute clip. I'm not going to play it again right at this moment. I'll play it again shortly for those that may want to see it. But it happened here in Detroit. Once again, family got together. I think they said it was someone's mom. Now, the victims are a couple of them are in their 50s. I think they're in the hospital trying to recover. 2 of them are in critical condition, but 3 of them are okay. Well, in stable condition. I'm not going to say they're okay because they have been harmed. Now, being that I come from a family full of women, when my grandma passed, she had 7 daughters and 1 son. And like I said, all hell broke loose. It didn't get violent, but all hell broke loose. Of course, somebody gonna feel like they didn't pull their, somebody else isn't pulling their weight. Somebody feels like they should have got this from the person. And from there, like, my family really has been broken apart for 24 years now. Hopefully this June, which I just found out yesterday that I'm not even going to be able to make the event. I had already booked my flights, everything. So luckily I protected my flight. But my daughter has a band ceremony the day that we're supposed to be flying back in. And when it comes to my daughter, she's going to always be first over family. That's part of the Bible. The family that you create should become before the family that you were born into. And being that my daughter's my only child, I'm her only parent, she's the family that I created, I'm going to make sure I protect her and do whatever is best for her. And what was best for her was to be at her band performance instead of going to be with family, which sucks because, once again, family isn't family anymore. And I wish I could be there because I was going to try my best to, show up and try to help get my family back together, because we're a family full of women. And I have 1 uncle. I believe I have 1 brother and 3 male cousins, but everybody else is, pretty much women. They're all women besides the younger generation, like my sisters and first cousins. They had some boys, but we really didn't have, we're all girls and we all grew up. So like I said, when my grandma passed away, which my grandma passed away in June of 2001 from lung cancer, which my grandmother hadn't smoked since the 80s. She hadn't smoked anything since the 80s. She ended up getting having a stroke in the 80s. So, but lung cancer took her out in 2001 after like 1 or 2 rounds of treatment. And I happened, when my grandmother took her last breath, myself and one of my cousins that was in my intro video, we were there to the end till she took her last breath. Like, my mom had been there the whole day, and it just so happened that she went home to do something, and my grandma passed during that time. So a lot of people weren't even there anymore. But once that happened, it's like the sisterhood that they once shared, the get-togethers we used to have. Hey, everybody, we're gonna meet at granddaddy house or grandma house, or we're gonna do this. It all stopped, and I don't feel like it should have had stopped. Based on someone passed. Like, why are you angry? This is a time for us to come together, to find a way on how we're going to grieve together, how we're going to get through these moments together. And it never happens. And one thing about my family, that's the only time we see each other now. The only time we see each other as a collective is when someone passes away. And so I always let you all know, my aunt, I'm going to show you all, like, we had a lot of deaths. Nobody had passed in my family since 2001 until 2020. My grandfather passed away in 2020. Family still didn't get together. Maybe 3 of his kids didn't even make it to the funeral. Family still broken up. I'm not going to come if such and such come. I'm not going to do this if such and such do this. And then when my aunt passed away 2 years ago, 2023, family did show up, but once again, it was still chaotic. Like, my mom and another one of her sisters are Jehovah's Witness. Oh, we're not going into church. I'm not going to be there. Like, they got my aunt's ashes put in little necklaces for all her siblings. A bunch of the siblings didn't even want the necklace. My mom, I actually wanted the necklace because my aunt was more like my best friend / sister than my aunt. My mom, actually, I found out my mom threw my auntie away. Literally, my mom, when I had already told her, hey, and it was other people in the family members that wanted it. Well, she told me a story. Hey, I couldn't have that in my house, something about her religion. And so she claimed that she took it and buried the necklace next to my grandmother, because my aunt was cremated where my grandmother was buried. Well, come to find out, a couple of months later, my mom just told me that she actually threw it away, which hurt my heart. But once again, like I say, family isn't family anymore. How do you throw your baby sister basically in the trash? That's how I look at it. You threw your baby sister in the trash. My mom's the oldest. My aunt that passed away is the baby. And in between them is 6 of them, 5 girls and a boy. And you literally, Like she had 16 regular nieces and nephews, and then some great nieces. Any one of us would have been happy to take that necklace, but they were just giving it to the siblings. And ever since 2001, when my grandma passed, this sister don't like this sister, the other sister mad at this sister, and it makes no sense to me. Uh-oh, y'all, I'm sorry. Uh-oh. I think one of my sisters might be here. You in the bush, sis. Thank you. You might be my other bush watcher besides Vibes Queen. And like I said, I really don't have a direction on where this live is going to go. I just wanted to talk about family. I always throw a little bit of my family in there when I'm talking about these situations. And so I'm going to play the clip again of what happened to this family. It's only a 3-minute clip. So if you didn't see it, just pay attention, please, real quick.
And we begin with breaking news out of the west side of Detroit, where 5 family members have been sent to the hospital, all of them with gunshot wounds. Detroit police say there was a fight between family members and then things escalated into a full-on shootout. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hillary Goulston.
And I'm Dave Spencer. We are learning more now about the conditions of those multiple victims. Fox 2's Camille Mary joins us live from the scene. Camille, so much to unpack here. Where to start?
Yeah, 2 people, though, are critical condition and 3 in temp serious. But let's talk about what happened. Let's rewind the clock back to yesterday. And that's what led up to all this. Is a family member died after a long-term illness. She was an elderly woman. And then today, all the family members were together trying to discuss logistics after a passing, what to do as far as funeral arrangements go, where to have the body taken, when all of a sudden chaos broke out. A physical altercation, then a shooting. We know right now, as I said at the top, that 2 brothers in their 50s in critical condition, and then 3 women who are also family members. One of them, the wife of one of the brothers, and then also a niece who was in her 20s, also in the hospital. Now, the Assistant Chief Fitzgerald talks about this way better than I can, so I want you to listen to what he has to say in his own words.
Sounds like it started with the 2 brothers in a physical altercation. Gun falls out of the one brother's waistband. Another brother picks it up, fires a shot. Others return fire to defend that person. And even when the original officers, the responding officers arrived at scene, they were still fighting on the front lawn. One of the family members had a broom, hit another family member with the broom.
Okay, so right now we know that there was also a person who was inside the house. This all happened outside, but who was inside the house, who was suffering from a stroke, who is recovering from that. Police worried that he could have maybe been hit in this, but he's okay. And then also a bullet hit another house. Luckily, no one was hit. Right now, it's kind of a hectic situation because someone walked up. He actually walked up to us first and then to police because he's trying to get to his house back there. He's screaming at police. Police are trying to get him to calm down. He doesn't appear to be related to all of this, but still kind of adding to the stress and the chaos of this scene. But for now, that's what's going on. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this and bring you the latest information as soon as we get it. Reporting live, Camille Mary, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Camille, whenever you're dealing with these domestic situations, we know emotions can run high. Do we know if the family members who were not injured are cooperating with the investigation at this point?
Well, again, interesting. And also, too, I didn't even tell you where this was. This is in Detroit, Sussex and Linden. Again, I apologize for kind of the chaos. You can probably hear the screaming behind me. But we do know that one of the people arrested, a woman, is also believed to be a family member. But who shot who? One of the people who shot is in the hospital, but police still trying to sort it all out. Just a very chaotic, messy scene. And again, this with this neighbor arguing with police is not helping matters at all.
Yeah,
Dave and Hillary, back to you.
We know this happened a few hours ago, and it's still an ongoing investigation. So we'll check back with you later on. Thank you for that live report.
All right. Yes. Vibes. That's crazy. Second time today, I heard someone had a stroke. Oh my. Yeah. I know my grandma. She had her stroke. I was 5. So I always say I didn't get, and she died when I was 17. So I didn't get the traditional grandmother experience, because when my grandmother had her stroke, it paralyzed her, I believe, right side. I'm not sure which side it paralyzed, but where her speech was totally impaired. We could barely make out what she was saying. She would have, she would slop from the side of her mouth. So I didn't get that traditional grandmother experience. So anybody have grandparents out there, loved ones that's elderly, please love on them. Allow them to love on you. Take heed to what they're saying. Our elders bring wisdom. But that story is crazy. Like, oh, someone in the Mo3 sector. Girl, and that's my little backup sector. I ain't even had time to really check out anybody today. As y'all see, I ain't did my hair, y'all. Pray for a sister. Sister ain't did her hair yet. Hey, friend. Thank you for tuning in. We just talking about how family ain't family no more. I don't know if you just missed the clip, but a family here in Detroit, an elderly person died. They said it was the mom. I believe it was the mom of the two 50-year-old men. And two brothers got into a fight, probably about, where they was going to bury the mama or what funeral, who knows. They got into a fight. All hell broke loose. Somebody came out with a broom, beating somebody else up. Somehow a pow came out. 5 were injured. The two brothers that are in their 50s are in critical condition, fighting for their lives. So that family may be having to bury a couple of more people on top of still burying the person that they're already grieving. On top of a family member or two got some charges, somebody in jail. It's crazy. So anything can happen, and that's why I continue to say family isn't family anymore. It's very sad, friend. Like, it's very sad. And being that, in this day and time, you can't even trust your own brother, sister, cousin, neighbor anymore. Like, the neighbor is involved because somehow one of the bullets took straight at his house. Luckily, no one in his home was injured. But now he in an uproar out there, like, trying to figure out what's going on and why. And oh, can y'all hold on 1 second? I'm Ghetto Kitty been outside for about 6 hours, and I hear Ghetto Kitty at the door, y'all. Hold on, let me I'm gonna stop my camera and go get Ghetto Kitty. Hold on, Ali. Hold on. I hear you. I've already been looking for you. Come on. Come on, Ghetto Kitty. No, don't start the crying. I know y'all can hear me. I apologize, y'all. I apologize about Ghetto Kitty. Friend, don't be laughing. He is horrible. He be sneaking outside. As soon as you open the door, he's so small. He'll slither beside you and run out the door. And now he coming in just to use me. He went straight to his food and his water bowl, y'all. So Ghetto Kitty, we just gonna pray for Ghetto Kitty. But let's get back to the discussion at hand about family. Like, at the end of the day, like I said, this family is going to have to regroup. Girl, he ain't got no money. He need more than a mortgage. Ghetto Kitty about to get up out of here. Now, he's a good kid, and I love him. I never had a cat. I was a dog person, but now that I've had a kitten, I would never get another dog ever again. Kitties are where they at. They clean themselves. Like, he's not a problem. Like, my dog, I had dogs like a baby. My kitten is more like a teenager. So I can roll with that. So I let Gangsta Kitty roam the streets of Detroit. So if I come up crying one day talking about something happened to Gangsta Kitty, y'all just pray for me. But at the end of the day, let's pray for this family. This family is going to have to find a new normal. They lost their matriarch to their family. They may be losing a couple of the elderly men, the elders of their family. They got a niece that's in the prison or in the jail right now, trying to figure out what she's going to do and how they're going to go about all this. So not only are they going to be burying people, not only is some family having to figure out where, who to go see at the hospital, who to go see at the jail, where to disperse the money. Like, that could have been the issue on where the, fight came from. Somebody probably was only putting in $100 where somebody was putting in $500 and something broke out. Because like when my grandmom passed, I was 17, so I'm not sure of the logistics of their, the funeral arrangements. But when my grandfather passed in 2020, I do know his insurance had just lapsed because he lost his wife maybe 6 or 8 months before he passed away. And something happened after the insurance with her because my grandfather ended up getting dementia and all that. And I don't believe, and not saying he had, my mom and another one of my aunts lived in the city with him. So they were trying their best to take care of him. But my grandfather was like literally sneaking out the house, getting his car keys, driving. He literally had a hit and run accident probably 5 months before he passed. So he never did get to go to court about that. But they were trying to, help him. But as far as the funeral arrangements, people had to come out of their pockets. for money. Same thing when my aunt passed. My aunt didn't have a life insurance policy, so we had to come out of pocket. And I didn't do anything for my grandfather, but for my aunt, for sure, I came out of pocket. I would have paid the whole thing if I had it. Nobody wouldn't have to worry about nothing. That's how much I loved her and how much she done for me. If I had the money, I would have took care of her whole funeral by myself. But we as a collective came together. I was proud for my aunt. My grandfather, it was a different story. Like I said, a few of the family members didn't, his own children didn't make it, which I can't talk. Remember, I didn't make it to my dad's funeral. Choice, not chance. It was my choice. But at the end of the day, this family that we just watched, they're going to be in for a long run here. You know what I'm saying? They're going to really be in for a long run. And one thing about me, I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in doing the right things. Like I'm not sure of all the incidents, what all occurred at that home, why someone felt the need to draw fire on their own family. So that's basically like a Cain and Abel situation, because I believe the two guys that started the altercation were brothers. So it's like, that's Cain and Abel to me. And for me, like, I love my siblings enough, even if something happened to my mom, because with my dad, his stuff was pretty much laid out. Insurance policy was good. Money got covered. I don't even know. I think my mom probably helped with his funeral. I don't know who actually did it, but everything was laid out. But if something does happen to my mother and I'm still here and my siblings, I'm going to be the one, even though I am the hothead of my family. I am, out of my siblings, I'm child 4. It's 4 out of 5. I'm number 4. One of them, the sister above me, is like the level-headed one. She's the one that's going to, she's going to make sure we all in line. But I'm that boisterous one where I'm going to say how I feel and all of that. But if something happens to my mom, I'm going to sit back silent because I don't do enough while she's living to be complaining when she's no longer here. And normally that's what happens. It's normally the person that ain't even done. It'd be guilt. I associate guilt with grief. A lot of people grieve because they're guilty of something. Like even with my aunt, I'm still grieving her. She's been gone 2 years, 2 months. Y'all, I'm keeping up with the days and everything, y'all. 2 years, 2 months, and 7 days. And for me, I'm grieving because I'm guilty. The last year and a half of her life, we weren't talking like that. Nothing major really happened. I'm going to tell y'all why we weren't talking. But before then, from me being a little girl up until the year and a half before she passed, like this. I mean, on the phone 6-7 times a day, literally. Definitely like the last 5 years before she had passed, we were on the phone 5, 6, 7 times a day because I was up here in Detroit. She was in somewhere in Florida, and we couldn't see each other. It was like she was the yin to my yang. So we literally talked all the time. Well, maybe, like I said, a year and a half before she passed, something's going on with my life. Something's wrong with one of my phones. I always have some stuff going on, y'all. Like, my life be crazy. But a whole bunch was going on in my life. And this is around the time when Breonna Taylor had passed away. So she didn't talk to me. And I think because she hadn't heard from me, she started reaching out to different family members, looking for me. I'm the only person in my family here in Detroit. So I'm like 800 miles away minimum from most of my family. So she was concerned about me. I knew that, but I took it somewhere else. Like, because once one of my sisters called me, hey, did you talk to your auntie? The other one of my first cousins called me, hey, auntie, and then another cousin. So the last cousin that called, she say, yeah, she's saying she's going to send the police to your house to find out, about you, da-da-da. So me and that particular cousin was like, didn't she know what just happened with Breonna Taylor? Them people could come in my house. So I got mad. No reason to really get mad, but I got mad. So I ain't talked to her. So when I did talk to her maybe a week or something later, because she had one of my aunts that I don't even really talk to like that, she hadn't called her. My auntie sending out prayers around the family that like I'm missing, like something going on. So I got angry with my aunt, and our relationship sort of changed where we went talking every day. Now she'll call me once a week. I might not call her. And then towards the end, she started getting sick. And like, I'll never forget, she called me. She passed in February 2023. So in November of 2022, she called me. She's like, hey, I was wondering if you want my sewing machine, because she know I love to sew. or whatever. And because she had an extra sewing machine she actually brought that was basically brand new, because she knew she was transitioning. And I'm like, girl, no, I don't want that. So I want the sewing machine, but you're gonna be here, like in my mind, because she had been sick since she was about 19. When she passed, she was 46, and every time she got sick, like she was one of the strongest people I knew. Like she probably had over 1,000 surgeries in her lifetime. Like she was one of the strongest people I knew. So when she would have these surgeries, she'll bounce right back, and she back to doing her, and me and her back hanging out, smoking our blunts, doing our thing. So to me, she was always going to be here. That's just how I looked at it. And so when I didn't take it serious, when the family said she wasn't doing so good, the cancer had been spread throughout her body a bunch, I didn't take it serious. We even made her a video. Like one of my cousins put together one of those long video things where each one of us just had to say our portion. So I'm recording my video, y'all, with my blunt in my hand, girl, just being who I am to her, which she appreciated, because when she watched the video, she of course called me. We cried together, but I wasn't taking it serious. I did not realize that my aunt was no longer going to be here. And so when she did pass, all the grief, the guilt, let me rephrase that, all the guilt is still in me. Like I was not the best niece to her in her last year and a half of life that I could have been, even though I was 700-800 miles away from her, but I could have been better. I could have done better by her. And when she did transition, like we all sort of knew, like, how they'll take you to hospice, and then once you get to hospice, it's over. You're going to be pretty much gone in a day or three. And so my baby was still in school, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get there this weekend. I'm going to let my baby, because my baby's that kid where she can't miss 3-5 days of school. She need to be in the people's classroom because she'll get behind and won't do her stuff. So I had to not go because it happened like on a Tuesday or something. And I'm like, I got to wait till the weekend. But when she did, I was the last person she talked to before she transitioned, because everybody else was able to show up there for her. I wasn't, but I was also scared. But I let her know that I loved her. I thanked her for everything she done for me and my baby. And maybe an hour or two later, my sister called me like 2 or 3 in the morning, saying it was over. She was gone. It broke me down. And I still break down today. And it's because I am guilty. So like I said, I associate grief with guilt. So with that family, let me take it back to the content. With that family, I feel like somebody in that family is guilty of not doing their part while whatever was going on with the elderly woman. They said she had some sickness and illness. So somebody was guilty. And that's probably what caused the big chaos. Let's see what Vibe said here. I have been trying to check in more with loved ones, especially my grandparents. I am blessed to still have them around. Yeah. Yes, ma'am, you are. You are very blessed. And that's good that you are checking in. And like I told you, my grandmother had a stroke when I was 5. Got passed when I was 17. My dad's dad died before I was born. His mom passed when I was like 9 or 10, but she never liked us based on the situation with my mom and dad and her. So she never liked her grandkids based on some other stuff. Thank you, cousin. I know. Let me read what my cousin said. She absolutely loved you. And I understand, because I have some of the same regrets, because she was so resilient and we really felt she would make it. We love you, cousin, and are so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all, that's my cousin that's 2 years older than me, Miss Team Rich. Check her out. She does great things. And like me and her, like, this is my cousin that we have shared basically our whole lives together since we was babies. It was always 6 of us. So the older 2, the middle 2, and she and I were the younger 2. So let me tell y'all what they used to do to her. Her sister is 1 year older than her. And my 3 sisters, like I said, they're 5, 7, and 9 years older than me. So they would make clubs and be like, you have to be 12 to be in the club. So my cousin that's above her would turn 12, and she part of the club. So the next year, my cousin, like, I'm going to be 12 next year. And my other cousin would turn 13 right before she turned 12. So they would be like, you got to be 13 to be in the club. So, but that's my family. I love my cousins. Like, literally, I come from a family full of girls. But thank you for chiming in and listening to my conversation tonight. And I'm relaying this, Team Rich, just because seen a family here in Detroit. All hell broke loose. 5 people got hurt. And now, they were planning a funeral. 5 people got hurt. And so now everything is messed up. So it brought me back to when grandma passed away. and how our family broke up. And it also, yeah, Gina, you, I'm sorry, Team Rich, you remember how they used to do you. I'm gonna get them for you. We grown now. We made our own club. Now we got the 45 and younger club. All them old now. We gonna work. We ain't gonna worry about them. But I was just, I'm relating that story to my family based on, like, I'll continue to tell you all, since 2001, my family ain't been a family. We have bits like, I have a sister and a cousin or three that I communicate with all the time. Each one of us is like that. And so finally, hopefully this year, which I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it, but my family will be able to come back together in one shape or form after 25 years, 2 decades, 24 years. But I think even before my grandma passed, little stuff was starting to break the family up and go here and go there. But at the end of the day, we have to love on those that you love. Make sure you're there for them, because you never know when it's someone's last day. And so I'm going to take heed to what I'm telling you all tonight, because I've continued to tell you all, me and my mom be having issues. I haven't talked to my mom since I told y'all that last issue we had. And my mom is actually turning 70 in a couple of weeks. And God forbid anything happened to my mom and I have to carry this guilt the rest of my life. And God forbid anything happened to me and she has to carry that guilt the rest of her days. So I got to find a way as an adult, as a woman, to be the bigger person. And even the fact that I'm not the bigger person, because I'm really not even mad with my mama like that, for real. Like, one thing about me, I do set boundaries and I do know how to let people go, and I will push people out and stuff, but I'm not really mad with my mom, for real. My mom is sensitive and she be getting mad with me. Like, she'll do something and then she'll play victim. And so then I'm like, well, forget it. I'm gonna be the assailant. And that's what always happens. And so because I am so stubborn, and I'm not even gonna say pride, it's no pride or nothing. It's just the fact that, like, okay, you did it to me, I'm gonna do it to you. But I gotta stop doing that because I'm too old, for one. For two, our days can be shortened from doing things like that to our parents. And I'm doing it intentionally, not being funny. I'm intentionally not calling, which she's intentionally not calling me too. So I'm not sure who is in the right or wrong. Being that she is my mother, I feel like she should be calling me, based on the fact, if I upset my daughter, I don't wait for her to come to me. I go to her and say, hey, mommy, know this happened. I know XYZ. Let's fix it. So as a parent, I always go back to my baby. So I feel like my mother should be coming to me. But as we all know, in your older life, you go back into baby form. Like, we're born, and we're born to live and we live to die. But in that living to die phase, as we're getting older, we're going back into baby form. So basically I am the bigger person in this situation, mentally, physically, and emotionally and everything. I am the bigger person. So I am going to try to fix that situation with my mom. Not sure when I'm going to start it, y'all. Y'all pray for me. Pray. Cousin, help me pray. Pray for me, because you already know how that situation go. So, but at the end of the day, like I was just saying, family ain't family no more. Mama's mad with children. Aunties don't like the nieces. Granddaddies hurting the grandbabies. Family just ain't family no more. Granted, a lot of this stuff been going on through time, but this is the day and age where it's getting worse. Things are just getting worse and worse by the day, the second, the moment. And we can't continue to allow this to happen in our community, because if we're taking each other out, who's left? If I go out here right now and I'm mad at Team Rich because some petty stuff, and I take her out, like, it don't make sense. Thank you for sending that love, child. I be needing it. Please send the love, and send it to your auntie too, honey, because auntie be tripping. Send that love on over. But I like, not being funny, I love my mom, y'all. And when I do tell these stories and I come out here, it's never to bash my mom, my family. It's just to bring awareness, to let people know things happen. I'm not perfect, but I am open. So come in. We're always open here at Opinionated News, Sunday through Friday, anywhere between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. But never here to just bash my mom. I'm just here to tell my story. I'm never here to bash anyone in my family. Like, I am one of them people in my family where Well, my cousin said her sister is my mom, so I'm girl, but they two different people though. Like my auntie the real deal. My auntie the real deal. Don't come for my auntie now, you know. Don't come for my auntie. But at the end of the day, I have to be the bigger person in my situation for my mom. But I'm that family member where I really I love all my family. I don't really have no real beef with nobody. I love all three of my sisters. I love my little brother. I love all I think it's 12 first cousins, if it's 5 of us. All 11 of my first cousins and they babies and everything. I just happen to be so far away from my family that I can't keep up the way I'm supposed to. But they don't even be knowing I be locked in. You know, I be locked in on all their business. Like I know a little bit of your business right now, Team Rich, but I ain't gonna tell nobody. Waiting on you to call me so I can tell you how I know your business. But at the end of the day, I just want to redirect it back to being that we're in a time where family isn't family anymore. We got to get back to being family. Hey, Golden, thank you for stopping in tonight. We just talking about how family ain't family no more, girl. It was a clip. I might show it again in a moment, a little 3-minute clip. Family got into a fight here in Detroit as they were planning a funeral for their elderly person that passed in the family. 2 brothers got into a fight. Somebody started hitting somebody with a broom. Next thing you know, pow, pow, pow. 5 people injured. Somebody in jail. It's a mess. And yeah, family is not family anymore. And so I've been telling a little bit about my side, my family, and how we ain't been family no more since 2001. How I am guilty of allowing a couple of family members to pass, and I didn't fix things that wasn't correct. Yeah, Golden, I'm gonna play the clip real quick. It's only 3 minutes, so I'm gonna play that clip so you can see, because I know you be having good insight and good, I want you to see this clip real quick. Here we go.
And we begin with breaking news out of the west side of Detroit, where 5 family members have been sent to the hospital, all of them with gunshot wounds. Detroit police say there was a fight between family members and then things escalated into a full-on shootout. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Hillary Goulston.
And I'm Dave Spencer. We are learning more now about the conditions of those multiple victims. Fox 2's Camille Mary joins us live from the scene. Camille, so much to unpack here. Where to start?
Yeah, 2 people, though, are critical condition and 3 in temp serious. But let's talk about what happened. Let's rewind the clock back to yesterday. And that's what led up to all this, is a family member died after a long-term illness. She was an elderly woman. And then today, all the family members were together trying to discuss logistics after a passing, what to do as far as funeral arrangements go, where to have the body taken, when all of a sudden chaos broke out. A physical altercation, then a shooting. We know right now, as I said at the top, that 2 brothers in their 50s in critical condition, and then 3 women who are also family members. One of them, the wife of one of the brothers, and then also a niece who was in her 20s, also in the hospital. Now, the Assistant Chief Fitzgerald talks about this way better than I can, so I want you to listen to what he has to say in his own words.
Sounds like it started with the 2 brothers in a physical altercation. Gun falls out of the one brother's waistband. Another brother picks it up, fires a shot. Others return fire to defend that person. And even when the original officers, the responding officers arrived at scene, they were still fighting on the front lawn. One of the family members had a broom, hit another family member with the broom.
Okay, so right now we know that there was also a person who was inside the house. This all happened outside, but who was inside the house, who is suffering from a stroke, who is recovering from that. Police worried that he could have maybe been hit in this, but he's okay. And then also a bullet hit another house. Luckily, no one was hit. Right now, it's kind of a hectic situation because someone walked up. He actually walked up to us first and then to police because he's trying to get to his house back there. He's screaming at police. Police are trying to get him to calm down. He doesn't appear to be related to all of this, but still kind of adding to the stress and the chaos of this scene. But for now, that's what's going on. Of course, we're going to stay on top of this and bring you the latest information as soon as we get it. Reporting live, Camille Mary, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Camille, whenever you're dealing with these domestic situations, we know emotions can run high. Do we know if the family members who were not injured are cooperating with the investigation at this point?
Well, again, interesting. And also, too, I didn't even tell you where this was. This is in Detroit, Sussex and Linden. Again, I apologize for kind of the chaos. You can probably hear the screaming behind me, but we do know that one of the people arrested, a woman, is also believed to be a family member, but who shot who? One of the people who shot is in the hospital, but police still trying to sort it all out. Just a very chaotic, messy scene. And again, this with this neighbor arguing with police is not helping matters at all.
Yeah,
David, Hillary, back to you.
We know this happened a few hours ago, and it's still an ongoing investigation. So we'll check back with you later on. Thank you for that live report.
All right. Thank you all. I just wanted to watch that clip. Yes, cousin, we have to do better as a people, as a whole. That is sad. Like, imagine when we were getting ready to bury granddaddy, that we all got together, and then next thing you know, my mama and your mama done got into a fight. Next thing you know, you done jumped in it. I jumped in it. One of my sisters pulled out a pow. It could have went crazy. And now Golden said, I'm almost certain that I know how some of this could have happened. Yeah, explain how you think it happened, Golden. And you can hit the link if you want to. It's up there in the chat. But as far as for me, I'm thinking it was a money issue. I'm thinking, like I say, it was somebody was guilty of not doing enough when that mom passed. And if y'all did hear, the family is a family member that was inside the house that was suffering from a stroke already. So the family already had a family member die, somebody in there with a stroke. The brothers are already in their 50s. Nieces over there that's 20 getting hurt. But yeah, you can hit the link, Golden. I'll redrop it because at the end of the day, it's a sad thing. Very sad thing. Because I just can't imagine, like I said, if something happened to my mom, I'm going to be the humble one. I'm going to be quiet, even though I am the boisterous one. I know that my voice could cause a lot of chaos. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely be the humble and quiet one and not say anything and let my sister that's above me, who does more for my mom, for one. Like, she does everything for my mom. I can't, if something happens to my mom, I can't go in there talking about I deserve this and I need this and that, because I don't do enough while she's here. I barely call. I barely, I barely show up. And that's my own personal reasons and my own thing that I go through. And that was something like when my dad passed. That's the reason I cut my dad off maybe 10 years before his passing. My own choice. My dad didn't really do nothing to me. It was just, I felt like what he was going through was going to cause me emotional distress and mental health issues. And I'm one of them people where if it's going to cause me a problem, I'm out the door. And so when he did pass, my sisters and everybody calling and saying, oh, we need you for the beneficiary. We need this, da. But I didn't show up based on, I wasn't there in his life the last 10 years. So why would I be trying to show up for his death, sitting on the front row of somewhere where people come to, oh, I'm sorry about your dad. I'm sorry. And I wasn't even doing enough while he was alive. So why would I sit there and want sympathy and empathy while he's grieving? And so I believe like that's what's going on with this family. Somebody is guilty. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's one of them brothers, the auntie, the niece. Somebody is guilty of not doing their part. I feel like they got angry. And as the story continued to evolve, if they show more, because normally things like this in Detroit, we get a one-hitter quitters. Because 3 of my stories I've reported on, I've been looking for more information. But tomorrow, if y'all are not here, be here. I got a lot more information about the little boy that was in the streets, flagging down a ride. I mean, I got pictures, I got all types of stuff, and just let y'all know it ain't the mama. There's something wrong with the little baby. So we're gonna be talking about that tomorrow night. But let's stay on the topic for tonight, which is family ain't family no more, and we can't allow these situations to continue to happen. If you know you have not done your part in your family. When something happens, someone passed, be quiet. Mind your business. Oh, yeah, vibes. I dug up some OT on him. I got to build that story when I get up off of here. And all day tomorrow while I'm out working and making some money, I'm going to build that story. I'm going to try to get my live a little earlier tomorrow because these 9 and 10s are very late. And for a lot of people, like I know a lot of my people are in, according to my analytics, they're in the 35 to 44 range and the 45 to 54 range. And y'all know after 30, we start falling asleep out of nowhere. You can be smiling and next thing you know, you sleep. But Team Rich say, yeah, I agree. We have already agreed that Trey will handle everything with my mom because family doesn't fall out about stuff like this. Exactly. And then, not being funny, Trey's a Virgo, like myself. So at the end of the day, we're level headed. Where I know I could probably do everything if something happened to my mom and plan it out good and make sure my siblings and everything is okay. But I wouldn't want to based on I have not done enough. But I may have to based on the fact that they're going to be more broken down than I. But we have Golden coming to the stage. It's Golden signature. So you all please listen to what she got to say. Y'all know Golden come with good insight. I'm going to add her. You're coming up, Golden. Can you hear me?
No, I hear two. I hear just. I hear an echo with you, like I've heard you twice. Can you hear me?
I hear you clearly. Do you all, can somebody let me know if y'all hear me echoing 2 times or anything? Or is everything okay with the link before we get into this conversation? Vibes, Platinum, Team Rich, can somebody let me know? Golden, you say something.
I know it has probably something to do with me having two. You know what, Vibes? She's good with this. Wait a minute.
They saying they hear both of us good. So maybe you probably just hearing something double on your side. Maybe you got the YouTube up and you hit the StreamYard too. Because I know that happened to me my first couple of times trying to hit people panels. Okay, they say yes, they can hear both of us. So we in good standing on that. Maybe just take if you.
Well, how do I remove one of them? Because what I did, I just came in your chat.
Okay, so you should have an extra tab on your phone. Click that bottom little thing that look like 2 paper clips, look like 2 paper stacks. And then both of them should pull up and you exit out the one you don't want to be on. But yeah, I feel you, Platinum. But if y'all are hearing us fine, we should be good. She's just hearing double because she has 2 devices on. Well, 2 links. She's went on YouTube and hit the link. So she need to get out. You need to get out of YouTube and stay in the StreamYard portion. Or if not, if you don't mind hearing the background, because they're saying they hear us fine. But Platinum, I know you just got.
Well, how do I hit your link without being on YouTube?
Because you're going to be in the StreamYard. Like when you press that link, it automatically links you into the StreamYard. That's why they ask you about your Gmail or whatever. So now you're no longer on the YouTube anymore. So you can, if you have a YouTube app open, you can still close that out because we can, you're still attached through the StreamYard. I had to figure that out. It took me forever to figure that out, Golden. I'm like, why? What's going on? But I figured that part out. But I don't do it on my phone. I be on the laptop, so it's easy for me to end that. I don't know. I'm not really. Vibes, help Golden out real quick. I know you can help her, even if you got to send her through the text message or something. But help her so she can talk clearly and not be behind or having to wait. Because I love to hear what Golden have to say. And thank you for hitting my link, Golden. I appreciate you. I really do. But Platinum, I'm gonna catch you up while we're waiting on Golden to make sure she good. We're here talking about how family ain't family anymore. Here in Detroit, a fight broke out as a family member was. There you go. She's telling you what to do. A fight broke out as family was planning a funeral. Somehow 5 people ended up injured. 2 brothers, a niece, somebody else in jail. So Golden has her assessment, which I believe is money. I believe it's money and guilt on the reason this popped off. So we're gonna hear, Golden fell off. I think she'll come back up in a second. Golden Vibe's gonna help her out in the background. But that's what the conversation about tonight, Platinum. Just want to let you know. And so I've related a little bit of my family. Y'all know Sundays I like to tell a little bit of my testimony. Like, granted, nobody in my family didn't hurt nobody throughout these things. But at the end of the day, it caused, grief and death caused my family to not be family anymore. Oh, she ain't reading the comments. She'll be back up. She probably texts. She'll figure it out in a second. Because I appreciate her trying to hit the link and get her voice out. I see I have a few Bush watchers. Thank you all for coming in. Welcome. You at Opinionated News. Come in. We're always open anytime, Sunday through Friday, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tonight we're discussing Family Ain't Family No More. And for those that are into dialect, family isn't family anymore. But y'all know I'm country, so I like to say family ain't family no more. But I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I can't copy the StreamYard link because I don't do nothing about that mobile. I try to do all my streaming here on my laptop, because when I do that phone, like every time I try to hit Vibes Queen link on my phone, I get dropped off. And I don't know how to do my phone. But I thank y'all. I really do. So while we're waiting on Golden to get up here with this conversation, be here tomorrow night. Open Discussion Detroit. That's the odd segment, as we're going to discuss the 8-year-old boy that we discussed last week. Hopefully by Tuesday, I'll have more information on the young man, Edward Redding, who's the suspect in the case of the burning victims. And if I don't have any more information on that, still be here Tuesday. We're going to do something. I'm going to be here every day. Wednesday, same thing. And y'all know Thursday, come in for the love segment. This week, the topic is, does size matter? And this is for men and women. So make sure you be here for that. Friday, if y'all missed game night Friday, y'all missed a good time. This Friday, we're going to have a better time, because I watch my replay. I see the mistakes I made. I see little things I can tweak. So be here this Friday. And I'm going to have actually game night might start a little earlier this Friday, based on I have a couple of people that fell asleep, because, we old. So I'm going to try to get here a little earlier. Thank you, Raquel, for joining in on the conversation. The conversation tonight, family ain't family no more. Okay. Here in Detroit, family was planning a funeral. Next thing you know, 5 people ended up with some pow. Now, I believe we have Golden coming back. I see her. She ain't connected yet. But Golden's going to hit the link and give her assessment on what she believes happened with that family. I said I believe it's guilt and money. I believe it's guilt and money, because it can happen. But like I said, if something happened in my family and I haven't contributed enough, or I haven't done enough, I know how to shut the fuck up. I know how to be quiet, stay in my place, and just show up for those that need to show up. And that's what we got to start doing. We got to start showing up for those that wants you to show up for them. Hold yourself accountable for the things that you do. It's okay. I think I have Golden now. I'm adding her to the stage. You got it together, Golden?
Hi, can you send Vibes your link?
Yeah. Yep. I sure can. Let me send it to it. You still hearing 2 of us?
I can hear you, but it's like I hear you twice.
Yeah, you on the thing. Let me get my link. Let me turn my volume down so I don't mess up and y'all hear
Yes.
me twice. Look, Vibe say I give up. What you giving up for, Vibes? We in the elder community over here. We be trying to, they say we old. Yeah, but we all old. So, okay, I got my link. Share it. Copy the link. Okay, Vibes, I'm sending that to you. And you send that to Golden to make sure that she
Okay, I'm leaving and I'll be back.
Okay, yeah, I'm posting it now to her. All right. I'm sorry, you all. We trying to have a little small conversation, a little discussion here. So I'm just going to keep rambling like I always do. Like I always tell y'all, when I come out here, I just start talking and everything just come out. I never plan anything except for my little game nights. So I never know where the conversations are going to go. Never know. Oh, how do I send my StreamYard link, girl? Let me get in StreamYard. I don't even know how to do that. Let me find that out. Let me turn my, y'all gonna probably see 2 of me up here because I'm about to enter my StreamYard studio. So y'all pray for us, sister. Pray for us, sister. Let me mute myself. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. That's my referral link. Can y'all? I don't know how to do this either. I'm sorry, y'all. How do I find my StreamYard link? Uh, I'm sorry. I know I'm looking crazy, and y'all might hear echo. I'm just trying to figure out how to send my StreamYard link. Is it a way to share it? Okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to do the link, Golden. I apologize. Oh, okay. So I send the link in the chat. Ha ha. Let me I'm so special. There we go. But how do I copy it? It's just when I touch my link in the chat, Vibes Queen, it's sending me back into my studio. So I don't know how to do that, y'all. I apologize. We might not get to hear Golden's testimony. Well, not testimony, but her assessment on the discussion. But I don't mind, like, we can hear you fine, Golden. If you don't mind hearing the back lag a little bit, you can come back up because we hear you just fine. But I appreciate all of you all for tapping in with me tonight. We have been here for 1 hour, 1 minute, and 11 seconds, and it has been a great time, great conversation, and I thank you all. Now, while Golden is trying to get back up there, I know I have about 3-4 new people that came in that didn't get to see the clip. Well, probably don't have them no more because they all fell off, so I ain't gonna play it. Oh yeah, I ain't trying. You ain't got to come up here. You ain't got to come up here. But Golden wanted to say something. So I was trying to see how she could hit the link without her background noise. But it'll be okay. At the end of the day, like we've been here for 1 hour and 1 minute already. Didn't plan on being here too long anyway. Y'all know I just like to come out here, at least get me an hour in. Sometimes it turns into 3. But I like to come out here, get an hour in, and chill with the community. I don't know how to send the StreamYard link. All I knew how to send was my channel link. When I touch my StreamYard link, it just enters my studio. But like I said, Golden, you can come back up if you don't mind hearing the background, because we can't hear your background. You sound fine to both of us, to all of us. So if you want to come up, and I'll mute myself. Platinum had that great idea earlier. I'll mute myself so you won't hear my background, and I'll let you talk. So if that's how you want to do it, we'll do it. And I'll unmute myself if I need to say something. But I actually like to hear your assessment on things, and see where it's going. But like I said, I still think that the family, pray for them for one. We got to pray for them because they have an elderly person that had a stroke. They have the mother who is no longer here. Well, the grandmother / mother, the matriarch who is no longer here. They have 2 of the elderly uncles / brothers that are in the hospital in critical condition, fighting for their lives. The other 3 are in stable condition, but they're also harmed. So all of that is mentally going to weigh on everyone, on top of emotionally weigh on everyone, not including the financial barrier that is going to cause for everyone. All right, well, here's Golden coming back up, and I'm going to mute myself when she comes up here, you all.
Okay, I think I have it now.
Yeah, you got it?
I do. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I don't have to mute myself. But go ahead and tell us what you think.
Okay. I agree with what you are also saying, that it could be money and, did you say guilt?
Guilt, yes,
What
ma'am.
Okay. Also, it could be a situation where the family did not make proper preparation. Prepare for their death, like have a pre-need in place, live in trust, a will, because the reality of it is that there should not have even been 5 or 6 relatives in the home trying to prepare for a funeral. when you mentioned something about guilt, I totally agree with you. What I've noticed in a lot of families and even in my own, is that the ones who put very little time to no time into the person is the first one to jump up to try to take over, to try to see what they can get, to try to see if they have anything. And sometimes some of those are also the ones, if there is a will or a living trust involved, they might end up getting more than the other people who have been really putting in work. And I've seen it before, and that's the very reason why I said that I would never allow that to happen to any of my offspring. If I have a child, of course, you would want to look out after all of your children, and I would, and I am. But if I have a child or a grandchild, it could be my grandchild. If they are the ones putting in all the work for me while I'm alive, I'm going to make sure that they are compensated. And a lot of times that does not happen. Like I said, it sounds to me that there was not a living trust or even a will, because if there was a living trust in place, or if they were aware of one, because that could be a problem too. I don't know, like I just know from being an African-American woman and knowing about African-American families, but I can't speak on other races and how they handle their living trust. They're a little bit more usually together. But what I've noticed with living trust, or just in general, people in general, when they put together a living trust or a will, they don't want people to know what's in that will. And I can understand that they want to have it private. And back in the day, they used to do that, and families basically, they operated differently than they do today. So once they were able to get a hold to usually especially a long time ago with Black families, once they were able to get a hold to the will, they followed the will. But in today's times, they're not doing that. People are too greedy. Just families are different. Like you said, families ain't how they used to be. And usually when that main person dies, nowadays, a lot of times families just fall apart. And I do know that what I've noticed with that is also because the head, the matriarch and patriarch, they don't prepare their children. They just assume like, since we're family and we're doing this all together, they just assume, and most people will, that they're going to get along when the other person, when the head dies, but that's not taking place. And since it's not taking place anymore, people need to prepare their children and let them know straight out, I don't need you guys arguing. I need it to move smoothly. But I know I'm jumping all around. And the reason why I'm jumping all around, because I'm actually have experienced something similar in my own family. And then just knowing of things that have happened in other families. Basically, well, let me just share a situation with my dad's side. Something similar happened to my mom's side, not as bad. My grandmother, she was not really the type of person, she had 7, 8 children, and they all were doing their own thing. Some were closer than others. She had grandchildren that were closer to her than others. She did the right thing. She had a living trust put together. From my understanding, she sent for 2 of my cousins down in New Orleans to visit her for like a week, and she paid their way down there. While they were here, not there, my grandmother, she was in California. While they were here, she had her living trust prepared, or she had it, I can't think of the word right now. There are 2 types of living trusts. There is a, basically one you can change and one you can't change once you create the living trust. So basically, let's just say I had you as my trustee on my trust, and I decide I don't want you as a trustee, I can change that. But I can't even think of the word. This is crazy. Now I'm up here and like I know the terminology. But if you have it set up in another way, if I have you as my trustee, I can't change it because I made it so basically you can change it,
Mm-hmm.
So she changed her living trust. I don't know who she allowed to be a co-trustee. Of course, you're usually a trustee of your own trust. She gave a copy to, I found this out later. She gave a copy to 2 of her grandchildren. And apparently she told them, don't let anyone know what's on the trust. Number one, I'm a believer that anytime you are, that you decide that you want to give somebody, that you want to well, that's not the word, give someone an inheritance, I'm a believer that you should let them know. Of course, I've been into debates about this because people say people want it to be private and that they don't want anybody to know. Somebody might decide to kill them for the inheritance. And I'm a believer in this. If you are giving somebody an inheritance that might try to kill you, then you might decide they might not be the person to put on your living trust as one of the beneficiaries. Because if I'm feel like I can't trust a person who I'm going to give an inheritance to, then why are they even on my living trust? So, I just don't agree with that. I do know that they say that you can, give a copy of your living trust to like maybe a pastor, but I hate to say this, there's so many scandalous pastors go in the world now that can you trust that? Give it to your doctor. Let your attorney have a copy of it. I mean, that all sounds good, but I'm gonna tell you, out of the 53 years of my life, I've seen every last one of those type of people as a crook. I know attorneys who are crooks. I know doctors who are crooks, and I also know pastors who are crooks. So you just really, it's really nobody who you can really trust. Even a friend. I've seen a friend screw over the children. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a believer in if I'm going to, whoever I'm putting on my living trust, they're going to understand and know. I'm going to sit them down and, you know what I mean, and let them know what is expected. In the living trust, you do have instructions, but basically what I'm saying is that if there was a family of 5 sitting together, it sounds to me there was no living trust in place or they weren't aware. And that's another problem. Some are not even aware that a will or a trust exists. You need to let people know in your family if you do have a trust, and if you don't want them to know what it is, you need to direct them. If anything happens to me, this is the name of my attorney. You need to have it somewhere in your house, in your important paperwork, but you also need to allow relatives to know, and especially the ones who are receiving an inheritance. So they know where to go get their inheritance. They don't have to depend on somebody else, and you know what I mean? Because the reality of it is, what happened with my grandmother. I'm going to skip over this about my scandalous cousins in New Orleans. Basically, and my aunt in California, the same one I think I've shared with you all, who I made a police report on, who stole from my dad while he was sick.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember seeing that on your phone.
She didn't like what was on the living trust. Now, at the time, my grandmother was suffering from dementia. Remember, nobody has the copy of it but 2 cousins in New Orleans. Now, one of them resides with her mother, which is my aunt. And apparently she was being sneaky too, because my aunt had no idea until I was on the phone with them a few years later, and her daughter pretended like, oh yeah, I did have a copy, but I lost it in Katrina. I said, well, whose name was on it? What was going on with it? She acted like she couldn't remember. And that's because most likely all of my grandmother's children were probably not on it. Probably her mother wasn't on it. And in the place of her mother, she was there. And she didn't want to let her mother know. Why would you never tell your mother you had a copy of a trust?
Wow.
You were living with your mother for all those years, and when you came back to New Orleans after your vacation, you never shared with her. I was with grandma. We went to the attorney's office and da 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 da. Even if you said, "Oh, I have a copy of it, but I promise grandma I won't tell her," you didn't say anything. We were in the courts and everything, and had anybody came up with that trust, we would not have even been in court, probate court. But that's the whole reason for having a living trust. So they were fighting over my grandmother with who was going to take care of her. Well, long story short, one of my aunts who was living with her, she got a hold to the trust. And when Adult Protective Services had been in communication with her, and they told me, because see, speaking of that, like how all these people play on this YouTube, I don't play those games and ears say, yeah, we saw the paper. Well, MF show the paper, because if you're in court, you ain't gonna say, hey, we got a paper. Show that MF, okay? So I was like, I told my uncle, give me Adult Protective Services number. I don't want to hear all that, because they came to my house telling me about the story. So I called her myself, and she shared with me that, yeah, your aunt said she had the living trust, which is none of Adult Protective Services business anyway. However, next thing you know, the trust came up lost. I said, didn't you tell me that she had it and she showed you the book? And she told me, yes, I knew what time it was. My aunt made that living trust come up missing because apparently she didn't like who was on there. So basically, when there's no living trust and there's no will, everything goes to probate. And guess what happens? Let's just say you did have your grandchildren on there. Let's just say you had your friends, your boyfriend, whoever. They will not receive anything because nobody has a copy. So basically now it all falls back on all the children. Let's just say it was children who you didn't want to have anything. Now they have an opportunity to become an heir and receive an inheritance. However, if you would have given copies to the people who was on the trust, there wouldn't have been a problem. But the reality of it is my grandmother had not passed yet. So it wasn't a situation where she had died. I was thinking that my cousin was probably going to come forward with it later, but so much had taken place where they had went into probate court because they wanted to become a conservator for her with her dementia. So that turned into, because nobody could get along, the state took over my grandmother.
Oh my, yep, that's what happened. The state will definitely pick up.
The state will pick up. That's why you need to have things in order and in place. You need to give copies to people. You need to let people know, like not just your other people, because they might not even let the people who are the heirs know. It depends on what they're, because there's something similar happened to my cousin. Her daddy's father, her daddy's homeboy. Apparently he was jealous and he started working with the granddaughter, and it kind of got all out of place. You know what I mean? So they ended up in probate, but then it was like good because the kids were able to get the stuff. But it was something going on where he was trying to work out some little scandalous stuff with the granddaughter, where he was going to get the daddy's car, which apparently I believe he did. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't just tell even though you trust people, and I've just seen this, you can trust people. And when people die, people like who you think would have children's backs don't. I can share a story about my grandfather. My grandfather helped all of his family. And when they knew how much he cared about me. Okay. And when he passed away, even it was a point where one of my aunts, when my grandmother was alive, she was saying, oh, I'm going to help pay for her college when she graduates. Well, sadly, my grandmother passed not long after my grandfather, but my grandmother shared with me. But it didn't matter anyway because I was cool. But I'm just saying that never took place. I ain't never heard from that aunt. So like I said, that even with people who you think would be good to your kids, it's just best, even if they are, you just are just whatever whoever your heirs are, you just make sure your kids are together, because people turn and change when people pass away. Now look at this family. They were a loving family. How did it turn into something like this? And basically what I'm saying is that it sounds to me that there was no will. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It probably wasn't a will. No, I was saying it probably no wasn't a will. That's what I'm assuming. Like, I'm thinking it wasn't a will. I'm thinking because I come from a family where I don't think nobody ever had a will. I grew up in poverty. 8 out of 10 of my family members are still in poverty. You know what I'm saying? So I know about trust and wills from me being a college student and going to school and learning about it. But I know a lot of people from that I passed away or that has passed away around me. No one had wills. Everybody had to scrape up money to, or nobody even had life insurance, let alone wills. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
So
think that's how it was with Black families back in the day, but it's not like that. Like we've never heard of GoFundMe's, people washing cars and stuff like that. When families died, they came together. There was nobody begging. I've never heard of this until like these past decades. You know what I mean? But even if you don't have anything, it's important to have a will. Even if you just have a bank account, or if you don't have a will, at least have a health directive.
yep.
My dad passed away. He had no will, but he had everything all set up where he added me on to his account, so it didn't need to be a will. You know what I mean? That's how he avoided all of that. When it came to all of his stuff, like he notarized, and I had my documents all in place where he allowed me to be his health directive. So when you're the health directive, you're the one who has the rights to bury. Luckily, between my brother and I, we don't have an issue anyway. He didn't care anyway. You know what I mean? My issue was I wish he would have kind of helped do a few little things, but it was like, hey, he didn't ask for, anything. And he knew my dad, that was the good thing between my brother and I. Plus, I do help my brother, but he didn't ask like, oh, how come he didn't put the stuff in with my name too? We didn't have those issues. So my dad had everything already put in place before he died. He added my name onto those accounts, and I was able to take over. So when he passed away, I just was able to bury him, use his own money, withdrew the money, and he paid for his own stuff.
Yeah, and see, like when my father passed, when my father passed, we just had it. It was an insurance policy that was already being paid for through. I think his sister was paying for it for him. She died 2 weeks before him, and then he passed away. So, but they were calling us saying, "Hey, we need beneficiaries and XYZ." But I'm adding Mike to the stage. Mike D, welcome to the stage. But at the end of the day, it was no money left over. Pretty much, you understand? It was just a simple insurance policy, just enough to carry him, cover him, and I was fine with that. Like, I believe when people pass away, they're looking for something from someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when my grandma passed away, one of my aunts had her own particular life insurance policy on my grandmother. So once everything was covered from, which my grandma already had a policy as well, but the siblings looking like, hey, they wanted some of my auntie's insurance money, which is weird to me. Y'all didn't pay that policy every month for how many every year she paid it, and now all of a sudden, because she got a big check because she was responsible by putting insurance on her mother's life, now y'all mad at her. And like,
I don't understand that. Everybody, if to put their own, first of all, if you have 5 kids, they all can just go ahead and put a policy on you. If your aunt paid for that policy belonged to her. And the reality of it is even though that was her policy and it was for her mother, she really didn't even have to bury her mother with that. She could have still said, okay, well, y'all can do what y'all want to do, because once that person is dead, and with the insurance policy, you can do what you want to do with the money. And that's what people don't understand. Like, oh, well, that was supposed to be for her burial, but that came out of her money. And that's what people don't get. Like, the person who is paying for that policy, you really can't tell them what, even though the right thing to do would be to bury them, but you can't tell them what to do. And I also know of a situation like that too. I don't know what it's about, these New Orleans folks. My friend, their family's from New Orleans, and when their uncle died, he had no policy. He was living out in California. The sisters, the aunties rather, they came down, and her mom and the mother's husband was like, I don't even know how we're going to pay for this. And luckily, I knew a young lady who worked at a funeral home, which was a Catholic funeral home. And I remember her sharing with me that Catholics can get buried for free. So I was like, okay, you all are Catholic, so go to your church. Reach out to the funeral home. They gave her she told me what to tell her. She received an application, completed it. She had to go to the Catholic church. They completed it and verified that they were members of the church. So that's how the uncle was buried. They didn't have to put in a dime. Only thing they had to do was buy his suit. Okay. The sisters from New Orleans came down, and then my friend's mother kept telling me she was so grateful and thankful because I was able to put all of that together where he had a full funeral. They buried him and everything at the Catholic cemetery, the whole thing.
Mike, what you laughing for?
Oh no, I'm looking at something on TV. My bad. Go ahead,
Oh.
continue. This one good information. I appreciate it. Continue.
Yes, so basically she called me and was like, all of a sudden she wants the brothers a death certificate. Now in California, it's not easy to get death certificates like it used to be. You could just go get somebody's birth certificate, death certificate. I ain't gonna lie, I used to get some of them. So now you have to complete an affidavit if your name is not on that birth certificate, and the questions that are asked, if you're not like a spouse, it's like certain things, you're the attorney, it's like you have to complete an affidavit. You can't just get it. Now, of course, people lie, but at least they have an affidavit on file. However, she kept asking for this death certificate, so we already knew what was going on. She had a policy for the brother, and I mean, she didn't have to pay for it, but I thought it was kind of cold because that brother belonged to all of you. So why you don't even know how, she didn't even know how they paid for their funeral. And you know that your sister was a housewife. So that means that your brother-in-law in her head paid for the funeral, and you just wanted the death certificate so you could send off to the insurance company and cash out. So like I said, people have a right to cash out the policies and don't even have to pay for the funeral. But it was kind of, messed up that no siblings offered to help pay for their brother. And
Man, people don't care.
I'm sorry?
And I say people don't be caring. Family members don't care. They want that bread. That's all that's all they concerned about. They don't even see these people. They don't even see these people before they die. They act like they love them and stuff, but they really don't. You know what I'm saying? They only love them for what they can get out of them. You know? And then
I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I'm sorry, I had cut you off, but yeah, like some of these old folks be claiming they got all this money for people, and they don't even really be having it. It's like my grandma, she was all like, "Yeah, when I die, y'all gonna get this and this gonna be that," but they be lying because they want us to treat them better before they die, and then when they die, we find out they ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what be crazy to me.
Well, that can be crazy, but I'm gonna tell you something. It might be, you might not know, because I'm gonna tell you this: with my great grandmother, after she passed, like my family, we didn't never have problems with burying. You know what I mean? We paid for hers. When I was clearing out her house, I found an insurance policy. It was an old one. Like they used to buy them whole policies, and at the time when they would buy them, they were worth a lot. But we talking 40, 50, 60 years later, that good policy was only, like a few $1,000s. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. She had a policy. She did have a policy. I thought that was odd. Like she, you know what I mean? That she didn't have that policy or anything like that. But she did have a policy. And now I'm also finding out that there in California, it's like unclaimed property. And I just typed in her name one day, and I found out she has another policy that's an unclaimed. I haven't even reached out to him yet, but there's another life insurance policy that she had. So this is what I'm saying about not telling people. You just have your stuff sitting there.
And people don't visit. They don't talk to them people. And by the time it's time to talk to them, they be old. They don't be remembering nothing. And like my grandma, she passed. She was 108 when she passed. So I understand why she ain't really had nothing, because I mean she lived so long. I mean, inflation is a motherfucker, but excuse my language. But yeah, you just people got to talk to these people, these old folks, and if you care about them, you got to kind of put some money on their heads, because they're gonna die. So I mean that's a payoff. I think people should do it on kids too. Like if you got a crazy kid and he on the street hustling and doing all that carjacking and stuff.
True, Mike, but why you gotta say it like that?
I'm sorry.
No, he was correct. Well, I put it on my kids because they were little, and my mother actually has policies on all her grandkids too.
Yeah, you put them on these kids, man, because these kids out here wilding. I mean, they driving drunk, they running over people. You know, like sometimes your kid reckless. It's like the worst thing they can do is go to jail because that really stopped. You know, that prolonged the life insurance policy. You know what I'm
Boy,
saying?
what?
No, you're right. Because like when you have a relative who's, their life is like if their life is together, most like hopefully they have a policy. But for example, my friend, she didn't officially adopt a girl, but she ended up raising this young girl, this little girl. She came from a dysfunctional family. Anyway, she tried everything, therapy, all kinds of stuff. She was just a bad seed. And I remember when I had introduced her to one of my uh, agents. She ended up telling me, well, I got some insurance on her. Well, she was little at the time, maybe about 10. But when I spoke with her, like when she became an adult, she said, oh, no, I still have that policy because the way she's living, if anything happens, I could at least have something for her. And guess what? It's been about 2 years ago. It's been about 2 years now, maybe 3. That same girl passed. She was in their life and got a hold to some fentanyl and overdosed.
Yeah. See, it's an investment.
And
You know, it's an
right.
investment. It's an investment. People, people think it sound bad to say, but if you got these neighborhood kids that's out here all on this crazy stuff, be friends with them, slap a policy on them, give them a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying, and then give them a
Well, I
sack.
don't know.
Tell
That's kind of
tell
a little bit. That
That's what
sounded
I'm
a
tell
little bit
saying.
tell them to go out
fraudulent
there.
down
Tell them
right
to go out
there.
there and get that money. Tell they ops on them.
That's no, Mike. That's what I'm saying. See, it makes
give
That
sense,
them
sounds a
Mike.
little fraudulent. Now,
give
I
them
don't
let me
even
tell
want
y'all.
to
give them
fraudulent. It just sounds
Get them a
horrible.
mic, get them a microphone and buy them some studio time, and you know what I'm saying, gold chain. That there
Yeah,
you
that
get
that
your
sounds a
policy
little too
cash quick.
fraudulent right there.
It ain't
Exactly. You got
fraudulent.
the
It's
whole check.
it's an
Well, no,
investment.
what a case like that happened out here was 2 women. They t- got some information from some guys off the street that was like bums or whatever. Put some insurance policies on them. Next thing you know, the guys, but nobody questioned it because they was bums and nobody's anyway. But come to find out, those women killed those guys and cashed out, but nobody really questioned it because they just you know what I'm saying? Some folks on the
Yeah,
street just died or something happened. They got hit by a car. I think that was how it happened. But yeah, I don't know about just grabbing kids off the street. I mean, although it's nothing illegal about it, definitely, as long as, especially if you're not the one that's going to hurt them, but
yeah. You don't hurt them. You just kind
you
of
just pay for the insurance,
you
right?
pay for the insurance. You let them know. Say, hey, little brother, I got your back, man. Whatever. Here's your rap career, and that's what they do in the insurance industry anyway. In the entertainment and all that, they put insurance on all these people. Even at your regular job, your job will have insurance on you, life insurance on you. Like when you sign up to work for them,
Yeah,
they got a
they do
policy.
have.
They got a policy on you because when you die, they get paid twice.
Oh
I
no.
do know that they do offer those policies. Like you can get I have guys automatically you might just automatically get 20,000 you can add on and stuff like that.
I'm talking about the actual
But
employer. The employer has their own personal policy on you as an
oh,
employee.
okay. Well, see, that's a new one on me. Now, I know they do, like, if it's a dangerous job, but I don't know. I wasn't there that they would actually cash out, So this is something new to me. Let me find out an employer is moving up on one of my people. It's going to be a problem.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, all these jobs I done had, something could have happened to me, and somebody like I don't have a employment place where I clock in anymore. But I don't think that's legal. Is that legal?
It's legal. It's legal because you're an asset of the company. Because if you work for me and you my partner or whatever, and if you passed away and we got business together, I'm taking the heavy loss for your absence. So I get paid for that. But you got to
I
buy
mean, it
that
makes
type of
sense what you're saying.
insurance.
What you say,
I,
Golden?
how he just explained it, I can understand that. However, I do. Okay, so you saying that it's more like a business and life insurance, like sounds like a business insurance of some sort.
Yeah, that's how they try to frame it. But it's really just if we partners and you go and it's like, dang, that's my right hand man. then I have the right to have insurance on you, life insurance, because you're an integral part of my operation. And that's how most businesses have with all their employees. We don't really pay attention to that, but when you sign that paperwork, and you actually work for these people, while you on the clock, they're responsible for you. Just like how you get workers' comp and all that other stuff, that means that comes with a life insurance policy on your life. That way, if you did get hurt at the job and died, they can cash out on your life insurance policy and pay whatever damages is due your family for the accident.
See, Zanae said, I know in the medical field, employers have insurance for nurses, doctors, etc., but it's malpractice. So y'all understand that?
Yeah, but I understand what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. This sounds like business insurance, how he's explaining it, but like it could be converted over, like if it's a loss. So I don't think they really call it life insurance, but it sounds like some sort of business insurance. It's just like with me having a small business. And this actually can go for anybody, like even, and I don't think a lot of people take those kind of jobs, those gigs and stuff serious, but it's important that you get, I mean, it's good to get like disability insurance through your agent and let them know that you like have your own business. So let's just say it might be something where you get sick and you can't work those gigs, whatever your gig. It could be a gig where you sell t-shirts on the corner and, something happens to you. If you're selling t-shirts on the corner, you can't pay your bills. But if you get that small business insurance, disability insurance, then it will kick in and it will start covering everything, like covering your expenses, because what they do, they ask you roughly how much do you make a month. So they base that on how much you'll pay per month for your insurance. So then if anything happens, they will compensate you for the amount that your average or whatever it is that you make a month, whatever you tell them.
That's the hustle. See, that's how they quote unquote been getting rich, because they run those games. So they have like 3-4 businesses. They got 4-5 insurance policies. So they take Aflac, they do this, do that, and they just get money from everywhere. I seen so much stuff. Like I used to work for the IRS, and so I dealt with a lot of people that didn't have jobs, but they made a lot of money. And they would tell me all kind of stuff. I go through their books and stuff and audit them. And I found out all kind of little secrets about how they just generate passive income and run scams and everything. I ain't never report nobody or anything, because I just like the information. And plus the system's set up like that.
Well,
So I
see,
ain't
the
mad
thing
at them.
but it's legal, because the reality of it is like I had those kind of policies before myself, and if you do become disabled or mentally, and you tell your doctor, hey, I was overwhelming what I'm doing, they'll kick in. Like if you tell your insurance company, hey, I make $10,000 a month, they'll say, okay, you need to pay $307 a month for this insurance. And as soon as you become quote unquote disabled, they're going to send you a $10,000 check every month.
Exactly.
With your small business.
Yeah. I said, yeah, exactly.
And a
That's
lot of
the
people
hustle.
don't know about that.
Yep. See, that's the game. See, that's what we need to be talking about. See, that money. That's what we need.
Exactly.
That
And I'm kind of
game.
mad that we're talking about it on here. And the reason why I'm mad is because I know they have lurkers who's writing notes down, these disrespectful ones. And I wish it was kind of in her membership or something, because I can definitely share a lot of information, but I wouldn't, because these people within that homeless community are too ignorant and stupid.
Hey, look, slap some insurance policies on them. That's all. That's all.
Mhm.
Give them a little bit. Give them a little bit of this type of information, and then that's that's the ad for the Patreon, or the private, whatever.
Mike, what is wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm trying to stay woke. I was going to sleep for a second, because I've been working all day. I've been messing with these damn Africans and stuff, man. They so scammy, man. They be trying to scam every chance they get.
But guess what? They do, and they move up.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of that, you do know that the feds have like a special, how do I want to say this? They have a group that specifically investigates Africans.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do because they really, because see what I found out is that Africa really got some of the smartest people in the world there, especially in Nigeria. All those scammers,
Mhm.
they trying to suppress them so much because they don't want them to really show them. They don't want them to really be who they really are. But what they're doing is it's unintended consequences because every time they put the barrier up, they find ways to innovate and go around it. You know,
True.
so they learning so many different ways to do different things. I mean, they hacking iPhones now. It's somebody I know they got the iPhone hacked and they done changed all their passwords and cloned the phone and everything from Nigeria on the
Mhm.
iPhone. Yeah. So they turning them into geniuses just on just the fact that they suppressing them so much. You know, so Nigeria is going to be the capital of the crypto world and all that stuff soon with all that oil and gold they got. You
The
know,
gold. But guess what?
yeah,
Everybody else is over the gold except them.
exactly. But that's about to shift.
Mhm.
It's going to shift. You know, the world changed. Some people are allergic to the sunlight. You know, so
Because I'm not gonna lie, I know that it's dangerous right now, but my son's dad is from Sierra Leone, where the gold is, and I was like, if you're saying that they're gonna change all of that, I will definitely be down there and grabbing me. You know what I mean?
yeah, you better get there. You say you what 53 now? Yeah, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Mike, I know what we do.
You know, I can go stay over there with some relatives while I'm handling some business.
Yeah, be careful. Them relatives, like I said, them families don't care no
Family
more.
ain't family no more.
But they
Right.
Africans, they're a little different.
Yeah, yeah, they're
They a
gonna
little
be a
different.
Yankee.
Yeah,
They're
but see,
gonna
yeah, well,
yeah, they're gonna
we'll deal with that when I get down there.
yeah, they gonna charge you. They
I don't
cutthroat.
mind. They can charge me as long as I have me some. See,
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta put in to get. That's
Oh
what people
yeah.
understand. You got to go ahead and invest. So if they want 100,000 for me to make 500,000, fine.
Shoot, I need 100,000. You holding bread like that? I need to come talk to you.
I'm on my way to Mike's house. You probably holding some bread like that too. I'm on the way.
I wish, man. Shoot,
I'm pulling up.
I just got robbed in the crypto game.
See,
Crazy how that happened too. I got robbed, man. I was so
we might
sick
have to talk
about it.
about that tomorrow for Money Monday. We might have to bring Money Monday back and talk about that.
Yeah, but it's cool though. At least I didn't get hit for the real stash, but they got me pretty good. Only got me for about $400, but
Oh,
that still
400.
was a lot.
That's a lot of money for me. You know, I'm a poor hustler. I could have had them $400, Mike. You know what?
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
But
but it's cool. It was my fault. I did something stupid. And it's bought sense. Knowledge gonna cost you one way or another.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to go to college and get a degree and learn to be a surgeon, you're gonna have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you want to be out here hustling and just learning some stuff, you're gonna go to jail a couple times. You're gonna lose a lot of money. You might get beat by some broad, but you're gonna learn as you go. Certain things you just don't do no more. You don't leave your windows down and your keys in the ignition and go to sleep. Somebody gonna take your car.
that's true.
So you gotta learn.
Well, I'm a believer in that you got to lose something to gain. That's how
Yeah.
you learn.
And that's how I go back to that insurance. See those little crazy nephews you be having and them cousins, and they ain't living right. Man, you better get close to them, talk to them, get them to sign that paperwork, tell them it's for their babies just in case something happen.
Oh, let me send something to the jail for my brother right now. Hold on.
Right,
What I
because
do?
a long time ago, you didn't have to have them sign and authorize you, but it's so many people, you know what I mean, did a little too much dirt and had insurance policies on folks that they didn't even know. These people didn't even know they had, insurance on them. So now you do have to authorize people to put a policy on you.
Yeah, they so crooked now. They got people getting Social Security that's like 150 years old right now. That stuff is so crazy.
To me,
Yeah.
they get 150. Well, 150 years old.
Nobody, but they getting Social Security checks.
They
They're
just
using
don't
those.
report it. But
Yeah, they're using those numbers and stuff, and
mhm.
Oh,
they
wow.
doing all
And
kind of
they're
stuff,
not
man.
even checking. Like if somebody was born in 1885, don't you think they ought to be dead by now?
Right.
I don't know. One of my old friends here in Detroit, she moved into a home where I guess the parents owned the home, ended up dying, and I guess the kids were supposed to still have the home, but she was able to stay there for like 5 years rent free, and they were still sending mail. I'm assuming they didn't file the death certificate, but she was using some credit card that they sent to the elderly lady, and she was running up the credit card. And the
Yeah. Well,
lady had been dead, at least 4 or 5 years because she was able to stay in that home that long before the state finally came and told her she had to move. But I guess the kids did not, send in the death certificates. They did not do whatever was supposed to be done by the home because the home ended up getting picked up by the state.
well, no, that sounds to me because no, when somebody dies, like the funeral home, they report it. So it sounds to me that the family, what happens sometimes, families kind of just let the house be. Have you ever seen on television where it's like an abandoned house? And probably what happened, there were no taxes paid because one time my daughter received a letter in the mail while she was she received it here, but she was in Texas where she was going to school. And apparently they were reaching out to neighbors and stuff like that, or people who lived on the premises. It was something. And because they were trying to find family members. And when I talked to them, really, I had told the guy, I said, see, if I was a scammer, I'd come and claim the property because they were, apparently there was like some land and it was like, apparently the guy died. They couldn't find the relatives. So, if they just wanted somebody to come claim themselves as a relative to claim the property. I'm assuming that he might have owed some taxes on it. I don't recall how that went. I forgot. But I actually helped them. I said, well, you can't find the family members. I said, you need to find the person's death certificate because on the death certificate, I know in California, you have an informant's name, like the person who gives you information or whoever's over the funeral or the burial or the cremation. And I said, you might want to do that. So the guy was like, oh, they sitting here like, here I am giving away gems. Like, y'all don't know how to find people.
Why
So
did they send that to your daughter though? Is it part of her family or something?
no, I don't know if it was where it could have been a property that she once lived on that the person owned
Oh,
or just neighbors. I think, or like they were just reaching out to neighbors who might have known the person,
okay.
who owned the premises, who owned the land that was near the property where she lived.
Okay.
It was something like that. Like that's how they would just grab, like maybe just, Miss Johnson down the way might know his family or, so they were like sending letters to residents or I think she was like an old resident anyway, they were just trying to find any kind of way to find them. But I had to actually help the man. I said, if he was a resident in Texas or wherever, I said, get his death certificate, look on his death certificate, and they will have an informant's name. That's the person who was over his funeral. And I'm sure that was probably the next of kin or the next person who he wanted to have this stuff to. And this is what I'm talking about. For that piece of land to be abandoned, they might have not even known that he had that piece of land.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta watch out too. There'll be scammers just sending out letters sometimes saying that they got land that they think is theirs and we want to buy it. Just send us a check and we'll do the paperwork and send you a check.
Well,
Next
it
thing you
was
know, you scam.
right, true. The thing was I was so curious because I did do the research, like what company is this? And it was actually legit. It was some kind of company that's contracted with, I guess, the state or something,
Yeah,
I guess they were like, I guess doing their due diligence before we take this land. It was
Yeah.
kind of like one of those things. Before we
right.
take this land, we need to first try to find the
Locate
relative.
the actual owner. Yeah, because sometimes you
Right.
want to they be wanting to somebody want to purchase it and they need to find somebody to sign the paperwork. They can't just take it, where they can
Right.
just take it if it's a small country town. But that's a whole nother conversation.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
Yes,
really
sir.
appreciate y'all. But yeah, I just want to stop for 1 second and do a little small promotion. I thank you all for hitting my link tonight. You're here at Opinionated News in our segment, Open Users Redemption. Come here every Sunday. We're here holding great discussions. Tonight on the panel, we have Golden and Mike D. And I thank you all. You can continue on. I just like to do a little small promotion.
Damn, I can't believe it's Sunday. I didn't know it was Sunday.
Mike,
Wow.
Mike, what day you thought it was?
I didn't know what today was, really.
You know what? You're going to have to get up out that house and out that crypto and that stock market and find you something to do. It's Sunday, sir. Time, just keep going. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to be here too much longer, y'all. Probably about another 10, 15 more minutes. It is a Sunday night, Monday morning. I am a mother. I have to get that little girl to school on time, pick her up on time. I think we got a band meeting tomorrow afternoon. So my live tomorrow would definitely be a 10 o'clock live tomorrow.
Just turn your put your avatar thing up and just leave it running.
I'm saying I can do that. I'm saying I'm fine. Like, I'm good right now. I'm just letting y'all know. We're here.
Yeah, I want to talk to
I
Gold.
don't wanna run nobody else's time up.
I want to talk to Golden about that $100,000 she's talking
You
about.
can talk to Golden. Like, first of all, me, you, and Golden love to talk. So
You got Cash App, Miss Golden. I need
I
to send you a
certainly do.
request. Can I send you a request?
You can send a request. I have a few requests sitting there,
She put enough of them, like,
and they sitting.
she get enough of them from the street sector.
That's what I said. It.
Yeah,
Jaden sent me a request. I got one sitting there right now. Usually I'll go ahead, but I'm gonna give him a little, you know what I'm saying, a little tough love. How he was playing Jaden Brad, the twins.
Oh, the twin. Yeah.
He sent me a request, and usually I'll go on to send him the $15, $20, whatever it is. But see, I'm gonna give him a little tough love because he was lying to Marcus the last time when he started. They always turn on the person after they get what they want. So he needed a little lesson. You know what I mean? Like, you was getting this help on the strength of Marcus, and then he lied about whatever it was. Somebody was telling Marcus was taken from whatever it was. I don't know what it is about them. They think because they must think people get $1 million off of YouTube. You know what I mean? So
are they Nigerians?
No.
Yeah.
They
They're
African.
not Nigerians.
But the thing is when you
Go ahead, Golden.
No, I'm just saying, like, damn, after a while, you want him to give you all your money. That ain't how business works. Hell, your motherfucker, your boss. How much money is he making off of your ass? He making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And while you busy talking about Marcus and this little funky ass YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying? Like, he making money and they don't even know how much they make. I think it's probably about $10 per 1,000, roughly. But the thing is that they get this making, like, what you want him to do? Give up all the money? And so he don't have nothing. He just out there hustling for nothing.
It's
You said did you say they're Africans?
Interviews. That's
They're Africans.
No, these are not Africans.
If they were Africans, they would be a little bit more smarter than a lot of these people and this stuff that they be running their mouth talking. No, they are definitely far from Africans. Like you said, Africans are some of the most intelligent people that exist.
Yeah.
These are interviewees from Atlanta Street Interviews. Golden is a giver and a blesser. So when she watches Marcus interviews and she sees someone that resonate with her, she will bless them with, whatever she can that day. Then next thing you know, they'll be like, oh, I need some money. Let me go, request from Golden or request from the person that sent me money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you send me some money and I'm like, oh, I know Mike got some and I need some today. Oh, I'm going to just put a request in. Ain't talked to you, ain't said nothing to you. Just took your money. And now I'm going to ask for more. Yeah,
people be mad. Then when you say no, that one time, they forget everything you did for them. Like, you just the worst person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Street Interviews is a very good example.
Yeah.
But I rock with that channel. I rocks with the, I like the interview. The interviews to me, all the opinions that everybody have about Atlanta Street Interviews, I don't see any of those for myself. I think he's doing a great thing. Now, granted, his personal life has nothing to do with me. I don't care about none of that. But as far as what he does out there in the streets, to be able to even talk to all those people, to make them say yes to that $10 interview or 20 or 50 or whatever, tell their story, I think is a great thing. He brought a lot of awareness. Granted, I'm a street girl, so I already know about what's really going down out there in them streets.
Right.
He bring a lot of awareness to those that aren't aware. They aren't
right,
aware.
but guess what? Because they're not aware. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
because they're
No,
not aware. They kind of maybe want to just kind of sit down and learn and stop having opinions, because the reality is he's out there in those trenches and it's dangerous. You know
oh
what I
yeah.
mean? And you out there, and then see, with him being out there, look how when we see him on live, everybody's walking up to him for money. They think he's the dude with money. So he could easily get set up out there with him. Oh, that's the dude that be interviewing. He got
Mhm.
money. You know what I mean?
That's why he say he carry only the 100. Or if he only plan on doing 5 interviews, he take them 50 tens. I mean, them 5 tens out there. Like he's, he's smart. But at the end of the day, he's bringing awareness to those that have lived in a box or a bubble their whole life and don't know what's really going on out there. If people stop so focusing on what he's doing in his bedroom and focus on
Right.
what he's doing in the streets, they will see the goodness of that channel.
They would really understand, and they really need to be having their kids watch that channel. I'm the type of person, I have my kids watching like real life stuff. Like we'll drive down the Skid Row. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type that'll talk to the bum up the way and always, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they really need to be doing.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what I need to do. I could take this $40 and go hit Skid Row,
Mike,
see if I
find you
can get
something to
lucky.
do. Mike, you know
If I
what?
can get a little lucky.
Going up there on 8 Mile, you'll find somebody in 5
be
minutes.
like that little boy that ran in the middle of Woodward the other day.
We talk about
Stopping
him tomorrow.
traffic.
We'll be talking
Yeah,
about him tomorrow. I got so much information on that baby. He was choking a little boy. I'm just gonna let y'all know that. He's
I
trying to
told
hurt.
you.
I got pictures of him trying to hurt his 4-month-old sister. I got all types of stuff. So when I make my little video thing tonight, I'm not gonna put the video out. I'm just gonna use the video for the live.
See, you
Because
gonna
I don't
start.
want that. I don't want that circulating the internet, even though it's circulating Facebook. The mom put the pictures out there herself.
Yeah,
Trying to
you gonna start believing me when I tell you what I see. You think I'd be crazy, but
no,
I be
I'm just
right.
saying, it ain't the man. The man ain't over there trying to be with the lady. We ain't seen nothing from Nietzsche at all. Ain't no YouTube, and ain't no GoFundMe's up. The
He's
lady, the mom has just been
trying to be with the little boy.
No, he wasn't trying to be with the little boy. The mom is just trying to cover her tracks by showing, hey, my son is out of control. It's not me, because everybody was blaming her because he was out there at whatever hour in the middle of the street. But footage is showing, and like obviously the picture that I have of him choking a little boy is before he was in the streets because his hair wasn't cut. But in the picture where he was hurting his baby sister the other week, one day this week, obviously his hair still cut like it was when he got picked up. So
Yeah, he about to be infamous now. So he infamous, so he gonna get worse now because he getting a little attention. So now he about to really go ham.
He probably don't even know he got the attention yet. He 8, so he might. But that's like y'all say, he's a grown 8-year-old. So, but he got some type of mental issues. We're gonna get down to the bottom of that tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. I'm sorry, it's gonna have to be 10. I wanted it to be 9 because I've been trying to do my Monday, Tuesdays a little earlier. But my daughter got a band meeting at 7. It probably won't be over to 8. And we stay 30 minutes away from the school. So by the time I get home and get my shower and get my clothes on and stuff, it'll be 10 o'clock. So
okay, so that means you'll be gone for the house for a couple hours, so somebody can go through your window and
they can come up in here. They ain't shit in here. I'm from the hood. I stay in the hood. I ain't got shit. I got sofas. Y'all carry these big sofas up out of here. I got 5 TVs, but they ain't worth shit. Come on and get them up out of here. I ain't worried. I'm not studying none of that stuff. That's why I be telling people, dox me. Y'all gonna be doxing yourself. I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide.
So look, so what you think about my video I sent you earlier about the crypto project?
I love it. Can I share it on my YouTube channel? Can we get it sending out?
That ain't. I think that's going to get a copyright strike if you did that. But I got it on Twitter and all that stuff in my group. We launched it on
the copyrights that I have been getting, or I found out. Thank you, shout out to Vibes Queen. She's always informative about this YouTube stuff. I told her she need to start a class, but I found out she showed me the different types of copyright. So look, I've been getting a couple. Like I got a copyright from playing when the guy was reading that scripture and he had that music playing. I got a copyright from that, and I got a copyright from my Money Monday, and I got a copyright from something else. But it wasn't the ones that's going to affect my channel or anything.
Yeah,
Last time I was on YouTube, I was getting struck out the ass. I mean, not copyrights. I was getting people striking me left and right. And people have actually been I've been getting emails where people are trying to drag me back into the sector stuff. I got an email that I didn't even know I got on Friday or Saturday or something. I checked it today, and they're literally wanting me to report and get back in the sector stuff. but I don't have time. I don't want them type of problems. Even though I know it'll get me in the algorithm, I know I'll gain the rest of my subscribers. I want to do something that resonate with me, which I love this. Holding discussions with different people about different topics. I like what I got going on now. And having fun on Fridays and stuff. Like that's my vibe. You know, Mike, you know me personally, so you know I'm a cool vibe.
All you
I
need
don't
is all you need now is a Bible. You can get you some Bible study going and start saying some prophecies, and
I got
there you go.
how many Bibles
Did
you
you
want?
go to the memorial
I'm
yesterday, Open?
huh?
Did you go to the memorial yesterday?
I did not. I actually texted my sister yesterday. She said, "Oh, I'm in the memorial." I said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot." No, I don't do the memorial. You know, I'm a church goer, but I don't knock no religions. But my mom and I don't know if my mom went or not. Y'all know I ain't talked to her, but my sister went, so most likely my mom went. But they was at the memorial yesterday. I totally forgot it was yesterday. I don't know why I was thinking it was going to be this weekend, but I know they do it a week before Easter. So, but I thought it was gonna be this weekend coming. But somebody they left some on my door a couple of weeks ago. You know, they be coming through with their little watchtowers and stuff. But no, that ain't for me. I'm not gonna be up in the Kingdom Hall. Like when as a kid, when I used to go to the Kingdom Hall, my sister number 2, she would always ask to go to the bathroom and she'll be in there asleep on the toilet. And then I was just, I just fall asleep right there. Like, but my other 2 sisters was always, they'll stay woke and entertained. And those are the 2 that still study today. Well, me and my other sister, we just some sinners out here living our best life. We love the Lord love us. But yeah.
I thought about being a Jehovah's Witness.
Mike, you're gonna need a lot of let me get this oil that I have to sprinkle on you every time.
I mean, I'll be good though. I'll be good. I'll be good as a Jehovah's Witness. I'll probably find me a wife.
You might find you one. You're gonna need one, and I don't know how you're gonna get her acting up.
Yeah.
You gotta act right. You can't be out here talking. Come back on the love set. You missed the love discussion on when was it, Thursday? Yeah. And I was hoping for a man to be up there because we was talking about women being jealous versus territorial.
Yeah, I watched it. The after replay thing. I watched it. Yeah.
I ain't never had anybody hit the link, so I ain't never get a man perspective. So I just had to ramble like I always do. Y'all know I never know where my lives are going. I just come out here, and we have been here for 2 hours, 1 minute and 39 seconds, and it's been a good time in my peach voice. And but I'm just saying, don't come knocking on my door don't come knocking on my door at all, Platinum. I think it was a Saturday or Sunday they came, and I looked right out the window at them and let them knock. And then it's an abandoned house next to me. They went over there trying. Y'all can clearly see that house abandoned. Why are y'all even trying to go up over there? But at the end of the day, I don't knock no religion, but I don't like people forcing theirs on me. Let me just do what I do with me and my God and how I do it, and I'm good. I know who you talking about, Platinum. I'm talking about Jehovah's Witness. They like to knock on people. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too.
Saturday, I'm gonna come knock on your door too, Platinum.
And you let me. I'm gonna call the police.
Yeah, I'm knocking on everybody though. I need money. Golden.
I'm calling the police.
My cash app is $ Black Mike 313. Now, if you feel like blessing a brother,
this is not a promotion.
Feel like blessing a man. A man that need.
No, Mike, this is not the channel to be up here trying to get cash apps. I don't even promote my own cash app besides the banner that go on the bottom, but I've never promoted it. It's just there because I see other people do it.
I sent you my
They're gonna be talking about Open over there begging. Open ain't begging for shit.
Then I send you a picture of my refrigerator.
That was last year, Mike. That refrigerator ain't empty no more.
Hey, it's exactly the same. That's one thing about man, my refrigerator is empty as hell. It's so clean though.
Well, you eating because you looked thick when I seen you a year ago. You was looking real thick. You eating, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, I was living off coney dogs and chili fries and stuff. I was high cholesterol, man. Enjoy
it because I'm coming over. You got your backyard set up. I'm ready to come swim. You ready?
No, not yet. I'm about to have it straight in a minute. I told you my basement had flooded on me.
Oh,
shoot,
man.
I was man. Oh, that's crazy. I got robbed for my crypto. My basement flooded.
You gave that up.
No, I did. For real, they got me. I had made a friend a wallet, and I didn't even think that the wallet would have my key phrase in it, but they gave the seed phrase out to some Nigerian dude, and he wiped them out. but he also wiped me out too. So
I
that's
got
one. I
I
won't
got
be doing
two.
that again.
Oh, Golden fell off. I think she left us, but I got two of them on my Money Monday that we did. Somebody came and left two of their little passwords up under there. I didn't go check it, and anybody gonna be accusing me of stealing shit from them. But
Yeah,
the
they ain't got no
two,
money in them wallets
yeah,
anyway. You know, they send them on my video I made too. So I
I
looked
don't
at it
know.
though. I ain't, you
I ain't
know,
even look. I ain't
I'm
even
gonna look. I'm nosy.
because that's the second time they did it. When I was doing my news before, it ain't even the same person. It was two different people, three different people, but it might be the same person with different platforms. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, yeah.
whoever trying to set me up out there, I ain't no thief. I don't want your money. I work honestly for mine. I get mine how I can. I ain't no beggar. I figures it out. But for
Oh,
the
that's why she left. I gave her my cash app. I'm
oh yeah,
sorry,
I know you.
Roland.
Oh yeah, get up off of here. Trying to run my people off about some cash app.
No, but I'm gonna keep y'all up to date on my crypto project, though. You
Yeah,
know, I
let me know when I can run that video. If I can, I don't care about the copyright.
yeah, you can
Um,
run it whenever you want to. It don't matter.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow for Money Monday because I know that you
Yeah.
said your launch date is April 30th.
Yep, April 30th.
Yeah,
So
I think it's real cool.
I got some other videos too that's algorithm friendly, but yeah, I'm hustling hard, trying to get that off the ground and recruiting my team members now. So I got a couple things to do.
I'm gonna
We
do
got
two
to
things with that video. I'm gonna post it as a video. I'm gonna do three things with it. I'm gonna post it as a video. I'm gonna turn it into a short, and then I'm gonna also do a live tomorrow. I might be doing that live off my phone, off camera. Um, whatever, because I don't know how to work my camera. I be looking a mess on the camera on the phone for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm probably go live while I'm out in the daytime on my phone and get it promoting. But I'm gonna try to promote it every time I can.
Okay, cool,
And
cool.
so I'll
We
upload
sit
it to
down and
my
have a
StreamYard.
we sit down and have a meeting too, because I got to start getting getting the restaurants and stuff signed up. So
Okay.
we get our
Yeah,
strategy together.
I'll explain it what you got going on tomorrow about it on my Money Monday segment that I wasn't gonna do, but forget it. We're gonna get to the money. I'm gonna actually have two lives tomorrow, y'all. One not gonna be planned, one is gonna be scheduled for 10 o'clock tomorrow night. But the one
Just do you ain't gotta do no special for the thing. Just do your regular thing and I just come up and then we start running out of stuff to talk about. We can talk about that.
Yeah, because we're talking about the little boy tomorrow for sure. But that's what I was gonna do anyway. That was my plan for Money Monday was to try to do Monday early in the daytime, and then have a regular segment at night. I was trying to do
Yeah,
two lives on Monday and then one every day throughout the week. So hopefully, it'll come together. But like
for sure.
in the mornings when I take my baby to school, I don't be having this bang on. Yeah, I'll be looking a hot mess. I take her to school, and so I don't want to be out on camera looking that bad for y'all. But I don't like going live on my phone anyway. But I'm gonna go live vertically because I want to see the difference between vertical and coming on this StreamYard to see if my numbers go different. So I'm gonna do that live vertically and share the video. You know what I'm saying? And make it happen. And I'll try to do that every Monday while I'm out promoting, that crypto, well, the coin that you created, because I think it's a great idea. I can't wait to talk about it tomorrow. I don't want to talk about it tonight, but I want to
Okay.
talk
Yeah.
about it tomorrow. And then when you hit me, if you still up, because I know you're old, and you hit my link tomorrow night, after I discuss the little boy, we can also rediscuss it.
That's cool. That's
Share the
cool. Yeah.
video to those people that didn't see it.
Yeah, and I tried to what I do in my community I built, I pull some people in from there to come and listen to it and they can ask questions and stuff.
Yep, that's what's
And I
up.
can explain it to them a little bit more in detail.
When they come over here, make sure you tell them to subscribe.
Oh
Subscribe to the
yeah.
channel because that's what's holding me up from my monetization. I literally have the watch hours. By me coming live these last 3 weeks, I've gotten a lot of, even though it may not look like it to y'all, but I have gotten a lot of watch hours because I've been putting hours in. I've been having people coming in and out, some staying, even though I only have about 6 or 7 at a time. Up to 10 or 12 at the most. But by the time the live's end, I'm getting 50, hundreds, and all of that. So my watch hours have actually came up, and I got 2,000 watch hours on pause from being on, on live last time. If I can get another 170 people to come over to Opinionated News and hit the subscribe button, it'll be great. But I know it's my fault I'm not in the algorithm because I haven't made a short. I only made one video. So I gotta put myself out there, but I don't like making the shorts. They don't look right. So I got to figure that out. But
Yeah, it's
I'm going to
cool.
make one with that bike tomorrow. That's definitely going to be a short because like the song was good. This little video was so cute and fun. I don't know
Yeah.
about the person that was rapping or whatever, but
Yeah, that was kind of weird. You know, I didn't
no,
master it. I didn't clean
no,
the vocals
no, you
up.
sounded good. You sounded good.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I just did it
The
on my
video,
phone. Just said, forget it. I'm sitting on out. I didn't
you,
care.
you sounded just like Run DMC 1988. You sure did.
Yeah, yeah,
They gonna know it's an old man making this content, but
yeah. At least they can
it's
understand what
good.
I'm saying a little bit.
No, it's smart. Like, the whole idea is smart. I think it's a great thing. I think it's needed, far as for that crypto world type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
shake
to
it up a
bring
little
other
bit.
people that aren't aware of the crypto world, I think that's a good way to get it in.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
be here Monday, Raquel, while you looking with that eye. Be here, like, tune in tomorrow. What did you say, Platinum, about the vertical? No one can come up on your panel when you do. Yeah, he's not gonna be on my link. I just want to be able to share my I should be able to share that video he have though. This is gonna be my first time attempting vertical. But and then I'm also, the way I'm gonna do the video is I'm gonna premiere the video instead of just putting the video out there. Like that last video I did, I thought I premiered it and I didn't, so it didn't go right. Vibes said people can join on vertical, but it must be set up before going live. Okay, I thought so because I noticed. I believe it was VS the other day. I think she was on vertical, and she had another lady, and she was on the side of her. But Mike ain't gonna be on tomorrow day. He gonna be in the stock. He work in the mornings. He be on
So
the
I'm
market.
about to be working in about another 2 hours. I got a meeting in a minute.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
it's
we'll set our
crazy.
meeting up one day in the upcoming time.
All
To
right,
get it
cool.
going. And yeah, you
Yeah.
can let yourself down. I appreciate you for coming up tonight. I don't know what happened to Golden, but I appreciate her for coming up. So let yourself down. I'm gonna say my goodbyes, and we getting out of here.
All right, peace, everybody. I'm out.
Bye, Mike. But I want to thank you all. Like I say, I come out here every day, Sunday through to Friday, between 7 and 10 o'clock p.m. I never know where my discussions are going to take me. I start with a topic. It may lead somewhere else by the time it's over, but it's always a great time. I want to thank Golden Signatures for coming up, giving us some knowledge, a little insight on what's going on with her. I also want to thank Mike D for always being uniquely him. He is just who he is. He always give us a little bit of fun, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of knowledge as well. I thank you. I want to thank everybody that came in and participated in my chat tonight. It wasn't many, but I do still want to thank you all. Of course, Vibes Queen, always the first one to drop in, tap in. I appreciate you. Zanae, thank you so much, being my friend in real life, standing up, coming up here, helping me, being my moderator, entertaining my people. I appreciate you. I want to thank you, Platinum. You always come through. I appreciate you for hooking me up with them better beats. I'm going to always be grateful. Team Rich, my cousin, I love you. I thank you. I really, really appreciate you. Raquel, we think alike. I thank you so much for staying, jumping in, being here, listening. I thank you. I think that's everybody. I thank Mike and I thank Golden. So I thank everyone. I'm going to be getting out of here, but be sure to be here tomorrow night for the odd segment, Open Discussion Detroit. We'll be discussing the 8-year-old boy that was found on Woodward trying to hitchhike a ride. We have more information on him. So please be sure to be here at 10 o'clock tomorrow. If you have time tomorrow and you happen to see Miss Open live for Money Monday, please tune in. Mike D has a new crypto coin that he created that is actually going to help all around. Tune in so you can watch it. I'm all about sticking together, promoting my people, uplifting my people, being open and honest about who I am. So that's why I do come out here. And I thank each and every one of you all. I'm going to have my outro set in just one moment, and we're going to be getting out of here. Be sure to love on your family, love on the people that you love. Pray for the family that we talked about tonight, as their life has changed forever. So I thank each and every one of you all. Have a blessed night. Thank you for tuning in to Opinionated News here on the Open User Redemption segment. I thank you.
Breaking through the static, no filter, no breaks. Opinionated news, yeah, we're raising the stakes. Truth on the move, no town. You hit that button, now you're in the ride. No detours here, we're shifting the tide. Like it, share it, spread the fire. Subscribe today, take the movement higher. No stop signs, no red lights. We're jamming the traffic, turn up the mic. Headlines roll, but we cut through the spin. Loud and clear, let the real talk begin. Thanks to you, we're breaking the mold. Opinionated news, fearless and bold. You hit that button, now you're in the ride. No detours here, we're shifting the tide. Like it, share it, spread the fire. Subscribe today, take the movement higher. No stop signs, no red lights. We're jamming the traffic, turn up the mic. No backing down, no slowing the pace. We flood the streets with truth and grace. Every click, every view, every voice, every stand. Together we rise hand in hand. So here's to you, the fearless, the proud. Opinionated news, we're speaking loud. Jamming the traffic, breaking the chain. Like, share, subscribe, let's do it again. Turn up the mic. Headlines roll, but we cut through the spin. Loud and clear, let the real talk begin. Thanks to you, we're breaking the mold. Opinionated news, fearless the mic. No backing down, no slowing the pace. Slowing the pace. We flood the streets with truth and grace. Every click, every view, every voice, every stand. Together we rise hand in hand. So here's to you, the fearless, the proud. Opinionated news, we're speaking loud. Jamming the traffic, breaking the chain. Like, share, subscribe, let's do it again.